Hey yo, this is a mic test. Mike, where are you? What we talking about today? It's React Compiler. In a nutshell, React Compiler takes your code and optimizes it. So since React 16, React have released several optimization hooks. That's use callback, use memo, and also memo. What these do is they stop your React components re-rendering when they don't need to re-render. And what the React compiler is going to do is do that memorization for you without you having to manually set up all these different hooks. It also comes out at the same time as a new eslint plugin as well, which is going to help you optimize your code and make sure that's following the best practices so the React compiler can work its magic. So I'm going to demonstrate how to use React 19. So first we're going to do is npx create react app in our current directory, so I've already made it, template, TypeScript. Now that's finished installing. Now I'm going to, I'm not actually in that directory. I'm going to do codes.r, -r I should say. I'm going to open up the package JSON. And you notice that React's version here is 18, that needs to be 19. React 19 hasn't stably been released. So we're going to do yarn add exact react rc react DOM rc, so we can go ahead and use the React 19 futures even though they haven't been stably released yet. So you're going to want to go ahead and update these type files as well, so we are using TypeScript. So that wants to be npm react, no it doesn't, it wants to be npm types-react at rc npm types-react-dom at rc. Go down to the bottom of our package JSON. I'm going to close that window down so we don't need it. There's that sidebar as well, because we don't need it. Why have I just opened up an empty object? So overrides, there we go, and then we want to have at types-react, and then we also want, I'm going to copy that, because we want at types-react DOM as well, and these are going to be the same value we put above, so npm types-react at rc, npm types-react-dom at rc. And you'll want to go over, you're going to want to go over to this web page, that is react.dev learn React Compiler. I'll put a link in the description. So these two packages that we need to install to get React Compiler up and running. One of them being that eslint plugin I mentioned, and then there's the babel plugin as well that will be used to compile our code. So if you copy that, head back on over to our text editor and let's just paste that in there. Right, that's our package JSON stuff done with. So I'm going to just do a yarn start and make sure everything is booting up correctly. Alright, that's loading up. Now we're not done setting up the compiler yet, because there are actually two files that we're going to have to add here. So I'm going to start with the eslint.config.js. Obviously in an existing project you would just add the following to that. So we're going to first off import the React compiler from eslint, that plugin that we installed. So this one here, eslint-plugin-react-compiler, and let's just add in the sort of basic structure for this config. So we're going to need a plugins object. We're going to have React compiler, and that's going to point to our import here, React compiler, and then we can set up the rules. If I can spell rules, set the rules here, and that is also going to be React-compiler. We're just going to tell it to React compiler / React compiler. We can tell that to either warn us or error. We're going to use error just so but we're definitely sticking to the rules. We're going to be a good developer. And then we also need to add a babel-rc as well. So not a babel-rc, sorry, a babel.config.js. babel-rc is the old configuration file. Whereas babel-rc, this is, I keep saying babel-rc, old habit, this babel config file. This is where we would add our rules for our React compiler. So we can have our React compiler config. There's going to be an object, and this is where you would add specific rules for your project. You don't have to pass anything in. By default, React compiler will run on all of your code. And as this is a fresh project, that is great. If it's not a fresh project, you might want to just add React compiler to compile some of your code, because there may be breaking changes in there. So yeah, you can configure all of that in that React compiler config object, and then to get this up and running. Now, if you already do have a babel config, this actually has to be the first plugin that runs. So the babel-plugin-react-compiler. If you already have a babel config, just make sure that this is at the top of your config. And just to make sure that's working, I'm going to don't need to do this yarn install, but I'm going to restart the dev server. Right, and it looks like that has compiled successfully. That is all you need to do to get started with React 19 compiler. It's as simple as that. And React 19 compiler is a build time tool. You're not going to see the benefits when running your dev server, but once you do build and push your code to production, that's when you're going to see those sweet benefits. I absolutely love this change, by the way. Optimizations, they were a pain to do in React. There were just so many different hooks and different ways you could go about it. It just wasn't very straightforward, but this simplifies everything. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye, and I'll see you next time.